Hello, my name is Pat Bowes. I'm the Executive Director of SCAN. SCAN stands for Social Community Activities Network. And we are here today with two special guests from the State Office on Aging. Louise Rush is the Director of the New Jersey Division on Aging Services, and Dennis McGowan, Community Resource Education and Wellness Division of Aging Services. That was a mouthful. Well, welcome to SCAN, and I'm really excited about talking about New Jersey Save. And I know that you both are too, because it's one of your newest initiatives, and I hear that it's doing fabulous, which you will share with us. But before we do that, tell the audience a little bit about yourself before we get going into that stuff.
Well, first, let me thank you for inviting us here today to talk about New Jersey Save. Well, my name is Louise Rush, and I am the Director of Aging Services, and I've been working with the state for 40 years, and all of those years has been with aging in one form or another.
So we have something in common.
So yes, we do. So I'm happy to share, and I'm part of the aging population, so I'm here to serve.
Great, and it's great to have you. And again, I had not had the pleasure of meeting you before, so I'm sure we will do some other stuff together going forward.
Yes, we will.
Dennis, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. I've been with the division now about 15 years or so, and my background is in public relations and public information. So, state employee state and county employee over the years for about 35 years. So.
Wow.
They go quick.
Yes, don't they? Truly, they do. And I know that my office works with your office in regards to our diabetes self-management program.
Yes.
And so we have a lot in common there.
Yeah.
But today we're going to talk about New Jersey Save. So I'm not sure who wants to take the initial question about. So what is this thing?
Well, New Jersey Save is one of our newest initiatives, and it really is to bring all our programs in one place. So instead of filling out multiple applications for this program or the other, we have decided to have one unified application that is accessible on paper and online. And so on our New Jersey Save application, a person could come and apply for that on that one application, and our staff will determine which of those programs they are eligible for. So there's no guessing. You don't have to know the programs there. Just apply, and we will, say you're eligible for this program or you're not eligible for that. But we will assess all your information and determine what program you have.
So we'll talk about the process, but once you get the application, how do you communicate with the senior? Is it by mail? Do you call? I don't know if you're doing the assessment. How do they know what they're eligible for?
So once we get their application, and as I said, you do not have to be computer savvy. You can still send a paper application in.
I'm happy about that.
So our reviewers determine your eligibility, and then if there's information that's missing, we will send that to you by mail.
Okay.
All right. You may get a telephone call if it's something that we want to kind of ask detailed questions, so that you'll know exactly what's needed. And if you're eligible, again, you would get a congratulations, you're eligible for the programs. If there's a card that's attached to it, such as our PAAD program or our Senior Gold program, you will get a card also for the other programs, such as one of our specified low-income Medicare beneficiary. You'll get something from Social Security and from Medicare saying that you're now eligible.
Wow.
So we do still contact people by phone, but for the most part, for your final determination, it is always by mail. Mm-hmm.
And so it's really good for the public to know that you have a working relationship with Social Security and also with Medicare.
Yes.
And probably Medicaid also.
Yes.
So that's really important. Anything else you'd like to add to the description of New Jersey Save?
We do have a toll-free number.
Which is?
1-800-792-9745.
Yes.
It's the other side of the division. I'm still getting freshened up on that. But folks call there to find out the status of their application, or if they have a question when they're filling it out, and we can help them.
Oh, that's good.
And that's, again, either for the paper or the online. So we're there to help. We have interpreter services, so people will call us who speak other languages, and we'll be able to talk with them in their language through an interpreter. or our own Spanish staff can help as well.
Well, again, that's important. I think, Chris, in New Jersey, we have, I don't know, oodles of languages, of 50-something, I don't remember,
Yeah.
but that becomes really difficult.
Yes.
In regards to people being able to be served, not only doing the application, but the actual services. So I know that you're all working on that diligently.
Yeah. And that was a recent thing, actually. We
Right.
just translated the online version into Spanish. And that took quite a while of taking, the English words and changing
Sure.
to Spanish, and that changes the pagination, and all that had to be worked out, but that's launched now. So both English and Spanish, paper or online.
Wonderful, and I think that's really important. So talk about the specific programs within New Jersey Save.
Dennis?
Okay, I'll go first. There's a few. There's 2 state prescription assistance programs. And we're one of very few states now that still have these kinds of programs. I think there's only about 16,
Yes.
including us, who have a state-funded, in some way, prescription program, and we have 2. So we have PAAD, the Pharmaceutical Assistance to the Aged and Disabled program, and that's sort of the mothership, can I call it that? That was the first one. When the casinos came to New Jersey, they get taxed 8% on everything they make, and that goes into a casino revenue fund to support senior and disabled services. And this is one of the first programs it created. So it's before Medicare's program by a good 20 years, 25 years, we had prescription assistance in New Jersey, and that was very good news for our seniors. Then about 20 years ago, they decided, what about those seniors who make up to $10,000 more? So they created the Senior Gold Drug Discount Program. So those are the 2 New Jersey ones that deal with prescriptions. When the feds came out with Part D, which is now 13 or 14 years ago.
I remember that. We had a big drive on that.
Yes, getting
And
everybody
I think
in there.
aging stepped up to the plate on that one.
I think,
Yes, we
the
did.
whole network did. Yeah, it really did. They also created a low-income program for their folks. The difference is their low-income program is actually $10,000 less than our PAD program.
Wow.
So what we do when we get the application, we sign you up for PAD, and then if we see your income is low enough, we actually go on the Social Security website, and we sign you up for the low-income subsidy as well, and then actually saves the state some dollars, because now the feds are paying for most of your medications instead of the state. So we preserve our dollars for the next guy.
That's great.
yeah.
So what else besides the 2 drug programs?
The one with the lowest income levels, and it also has some asset level requirements, but it has the highest benefit for the income, is the Medicare savings programs. And we have 2 in New Jersey. Well, we have 3 in New Jersey. One, if you're in Medicaid, they'll sign you up for theirs automatically. And then we have 2 on our side. Those you have to find and apply for, so we have them in our application. And what they do is they will save you the dollars that you pay for your Medicare Part B premium if you're qualified.
$135.
Yes, yeah. So that's a significant savings for people who are making under $17,000 a year, basically.
Yes.
They can get back, almost more than $1,600 a year. So it's like getting an 8 or 9% raise in retirement with a very low fixed income. So it's a really good benefit.
Yeah, so we've been using New Jersey Safe since April. This is new to us too, and I have to tell you, when we find seniors who are eligible for that, it's like life changing. I mean, they're just so excited about getting some additional dollars that they can use, whether it's for additional food or personal items and stuff like
Correct.
that. So it's really important. So so that's one of our favorite ones.
Yeah, and we'll often get calls like that where somebody will say, I'm having a tough time affording my apartment and this and that. And if we can find that they're eligible for PAD, that savings, the average savings on PAD is over $1,000 a year. That might just be enough to fix a problem that we can't fix.
Right.
So it
Right.
really helps the seniors and younger people with disabilities.
So besides, do they call it SlimB?
Yes.
Slim B, yes. And then we have QI1 is the other.
So
They have so many acronyms.
Yes,
Yeah.
QI1, I don't know what that one is.
Well, it's the same as SlimB.
Okay.
It's just the income is just a little higher.
Okay,
Yeah.
And so it's the SlimB is a state and federal program,
Okay.
whereas the QI is all federally funded.
got it.
But it's the same benefit,
Okay.
$135
And so-
back in your pocket.
So when the applications come in, you automatically screen for all of those
Correct.
opportunities.
Correct.
That's great.
Right. And also utility.
Yeah, there's utilities on the program, on this application as well. And and there's 3 or 4 of those. There's Lifeline, which is a New Jersey only program. That's $225 a year that you can get off that benefit. There's a Universal Service Fund, that's a state program, again only. So I sort of warn seniors, I'm like, feel free to move county to county, state to state. But if you're on a benefit, make sure that benefit or something comparable to it is waiting for you at the other end, because
Right.
some counties may do an excellent job with transportation. The other county may say, well, we're going to use all our dollars for home care. So if you need transportation to move to a county that's using most of their dollars for home care, you may have to get your own ride to where you need to go, or vice versa. And that's sort of the same with our benefits here. I was in Newark talking to seniors recently, and somebody said for rehab they went down to stay with their daughter in South Carolina. It was supposed to be like a 5-month rehab. She then went to the pharmacy, had to pay for her medications. PAD only works in New Jersey.
Right.
And she was paying $600 a month. So she said, I cut that rehab short, came back to New Jersey. 'Cause there's benefit.
a good reason to come back. Yeah, no, and I just don't think. I mean, we've talked about this a little bit since you've been here. Is what we're really pushing for seniors is just have a plan, and have the plan before it's an emergency.
Correct.
Before someone falls and has to go to the hospital
Correct.
and has to find some place to go for rehab after that. Like, what would you want to do? Where would you go? I mean, I think most of the time they assume their children be able to take care of them. But in some cases, they absolutely
case.
can't,
Correct.
especially physically. I
Correct.
mean, being able to, I took care of my mom, and, showers and stuff like that, it just becomes so impossible. Not that you don't want to do it, but it's just really difficult. And the other one is have a plan when they take the car keys away.
Correct.
I mean, because I think that's the most intrusive, meaning that, you're stuck at home. We have a friend recently who had an accident, and they took his license away until he could do better, and he became really depressed.
Yes.
And he even shared with my husband that he was thinking about committing suicide because he couldn't take the loneliness
Right.
and being in the home.
It's the social isolation. And, as I've said, I've worked in the state for 40 years. And working now as a director, and the two divisions, we had two divisions, now it's one. And so on one side, where New Jersey Save is, it was about keeping you in the home, giving you the services that you need to put more money back in your pocket with savings. On the other side of the division, this is all about the whole care in the community. And so now that there's just one division, we're looking at the whole picture for
Great.
our seniors. So as you just mentioned, I want our seniors to know that we're there, our Division of Aging Services is there, and we're there if it means just keeping money in your pocket with our programs, as New Jersey Save, but we're also there when we want to make the plan for if you do fall, or
Right.
if you need caregiving, as someone in your family may have Alzheimer's. So we're looking at the whole picture. So we come for New Jersey Save, but we're there for all
You're
our
there to
seniors.
save New Jersey.
Yeah.
So we're going to be taking a break in a couple of seconds, but could you just give us the phone number or the website?
Sure, the website is easy. It's www.aging, as in getting older, .nj.gov, and that's where you would find the New Jersey Save application.
Okay.
And the phone number is 1-800-792-9745.
Perfect. So we're going to be taking a break now, and we'll be back with our two very informative guests. Thank you.
So, if you're over 65, like me,
and active and fairly healthy,
Being active and healthy alone will not protect you.
Remember, the immune system weakens with age.
And if you're over 65, ask your doctor about your vaccination options.
We want you to be healthy and active.
Welcome back. My name is Pat Bowes. This is Welcome to SCAN, and we have two wonderful guests from the Department of Aging, the New Jersey State Department of Aging. Nice to see you back again.
Yes.
And we have decided to go forward with some more intimate information about how this wonderful program came to be. So can you tell us why you decided to do the online application?
A couple things. One is seniors are getting more technically savvy as they move on, and their caregivers are technically savvy now. So we used to have the application online, but it was really just a paper app you would download, fill it in, send it in. So we wanted something online that you could do the whole thing online and then press a button and in it comes. So it's really worked out very well that way. And we've seen the numbers start to rise. But we're really thinking that 5 or 10 years from now is when this application will have its full benefit, because everybody who's going to be retired will have used the computer for years and years.
Yeah.
And the next generation might be more comfortable giving personal information onto a website that we'll need to find whether you're eligible for programs. What am I missing?
Well, I
It's
think
time. It was time.
It
It
was
was time,
time, and the ease of filling out an online application for many. We say our seniors, don't use computers, but I believe that's a false statement. I know I use my iPad all the time. And I believe there's others like I.
Oh, sure.
So this is an easy, fillable application, and you register, and so you can, stop, go cook, come back the next day, pick up right where you left off. You don't have to do it in one sitting. You don't have to lay the paper aside and then forget where you put the paper, and you start all over again. So
Right.
this is just the ease of the computer for us. We thought it was time, it was something that was needed, and your family members could do it for you. You could have a child in South Carolina, for say, that could call it up online and can fill it out for you and can submit it for you.
So a minute on renewal. So I put in my application, I'm approved, I'm getting services, and I need to do an annual renewal. Is there a way to, besides putting it on my calendar, that they get notified? Do they usually get letters?
So what happens with the renewal? 4 months prior to your card expiring, we'll send you a letter telling
Okay.
you it's time for the renewal. 2 months in, we'll send you a card if you don't need to do a renewal. Or 2 months in, we will send you a renewal. So we look at your income, we cross-check that against other income that we have electronically, and if it appears that from 1 year to another year nothing has really changed on those files, we don't bother you.
Got it.
All right, but we let you know that if something's changed that we may not know about, then please let us know, and then we will review it.
Yeah, and I think the other thing that the seniors and their caregivers need to know, that when they asked for total income, it means total, and sometimes people forget nonchalantly or conveniently some of the income that they might have, but they just need to know that they're hurting themselves in regards to the application not going through, because you have so many resources that you're able to check that. So I just think that people need to be able to be upfront, and if it is and they're not eligible, so be it, but maybe next time kind
Correct.
of thing. So the next piece here is someone's applied online and they can get help doing this. We've already talked about that. We have a variety of different languages. So what how do you promote New Jersey Save, besides coming on TV shows just like this?
Yes, yeah, this is very helpful. Thank you so much. One of the things with before the online app, we just had the paper app, which means you had to find or get a paper application.
It was a big package.
And it's a big package, and we mail them everywhere. But, let's say we mail 25 to a pharmacy. If that pharmacist doesn't know or doesn't have the room on the counter to leave them there, he has to know, and when the senior comes and is saying, well, I'll only pick up one of my prescriptions, I'll get the other 2 next week, that's a hint that, this person may need some help. They just weren't getting it. So we wanted folks to have another way to find it. So now if you Google, prescription help NJ, you should find NJ Save.
Okay.
So that was the main thing, is to just give people another way to find us. And then we didn't have a big advertising budget at all. Any advertising budget, let me put that.
So that's the not-for-profit world.
Yeah, so like not-for-profits, we went out to seniors. So we did have some money from a small grant from the federal government to promote 2 of these programs, the Medicare Savings Programs and the Low-Income Subsidy. And we produced some bags and some pens and some pill boxes. And we've been going to senior centers and senior buildings and talking to seniors and telling them we're there. Our partners have done the same thing, so we've had a lot of assistance from others in the aging and disability networks out there. But in the first year alone, we've done over 100 presentations. And you'd be surprised, sometimes we go to one building and I spoke to one person. The very first presentation I made was to one person. And I was like, let me just practice. So I went through it, and as I went through it, she said, well, I'm not eligible, my father is. And then, you know what, I think my disabled daughter is. And then on the way to the elevator, 2 gentlemen were coming off, and they were like, oh, did we miss it? And I said, well, let me give you the quick both of them were eligible for all of the programs.
Right.
So I spoke to one person, and I got 4 applicants.
And so usually in marketing, the best marketing tool is word of mouth.
Yeah.
Correct.
You know that. But the one thing we didn't talk about is people with disabilities. I mean, we didn't say anything about them, but they're eligible for
Correct.
all of these programs or most of these programs. Is that true?
Yes, yeah. And
Right.
that's 18 and over, right? I mean, there's
18,
no-
right,
yeah.
18 to 64.
Okay.
And if they're receiving Social Security Title II benefits, so if you're getting your Social Security, as they call it, SSD, you're eligible to apply for these benefits.
Okay, and that's how you distinguish that they're actually persons who've been with disabilities and been
Correct.
recognized
Correct.
for that versus someone just declaring that.
Correct.
Okay, because that was always a confusing piece for me. I didn't know how one determined that, but that makes sense.
Right.
So that's really helpful.
Yeah, and I would think our enrollment is somewhere around 20 to 25% are younger disabled people,
Wow.
and the rest are
Right.
seniors
Wow, that's really
for most of the programs.
That's really important. So the one thing that we've done, because we're using New Jersey Save, is that we've created a referral card. So after we work with one senior, we give it to that senior
Oh, wow.
to then give it to someone else to come and,
Well, thank you.
you're welcome. I'll share it with you.
We produced a similar thing. It's like a business-sized card. So when I go to the senior centers, again, sometimes they're very high-income senior centers, and they're like, well, nobody's eligible. There always is. When it's done, 2 or 3 people will come up and say, I'm on PAD and I have a question.
Yes.
But the same thing, we put the cards in the bags and we say, if this isn't you, you'll know somebody who
Yeah.
applies. Just give them the card and let them look it up.
Yeah, again, we're now going into senior buildings, which we've never done before with SCAN, and it's amazing that everyone's very shy, but after someone gets their benefits back, well, the phone doesn't stop ringing.
That's right.
Yeah.
So again, it's a wonderful self-referring kind of program. Once people get past, the stigma of, benefits. I'm like, really? If you're entitled, I want you to have it.
Correct.
If you are eligible food stamps, I want you to take them so that you can eat better and get healthy food. So again, promotion is really important to get the word out. I think that in our world we have baby boomers, but because it's a 20-year span, you have the older boomers and the younger boomers. So I do think the younger boomers, all boomers probably, will take to this pretty easily and well. And if they're not for themselves, for their parents, because we're now all caregivers.
Correct.
And I think that sometimes people don't understand that if we're not, we will be.
We will be.
Yeah.
Caregivers, and it's important to know what's available. So the other stuff here is, tell us about the results. I mean, you've been doing this for a while, so were the numbers good?
Yes, we're doing pretty well. So we did a lot of mailings, so we did send out paper applications to our usual ones, which is your county office on aging, pharmacies, churches, senior centers, all those kind of, but we found other places too, and send them anywhere we thought a senior might walk into. So we did sort of pepper the state with the applications and posters and flyers and things like that.
And we did Facebook.
And we did some Facebook. Yeah, our department is very good at social media. We're not as a division, but the department's very good at it. So at least once a month they send some tweet out or Instagram picture of something that has to do with NJ Save, and I think all that helps. So in the first year, we saw our applications that come in rise by 6,000. And 5,000 of those are online. So the online really is the new wave, and that's good. So we're now processing those applications. So the enrollment is rising a little slower than the applications are coming in, but we're getting there.
So so once you get an application, is there an estimated time in regards to for you to process and notify the senior?
So I'm going to try to answer that.
Okay.
If Dennis does a great job, we have a whole lot of applications, and it takes a little longer to get through them. But a normal processing time, if the application comes in and all the information is there, the application is within 30 days.
Perfect.
Okay. What the New Jersey Save application also have brought us is that we now have access to other financial information, such as bank information. Before, we would have to, for our SlimB program, because it is asset, we would have to ask you to go to the bank and get your bank statement for the first of the month. Now we can electronically just send that information out. So because of this new technology where we can get your Social Security amount, online, your banking information online, tax information online. It does speed up the
Sure.
eligibility process.
Sure. Yeah, and I think 30 days is a reasonable amount of time, especially for the benefits that they would be getting. So those are some of the questions that we get, like, so if I do this and press that button, how long will it take?
Yeah.
And so, and I think we've been saying 30 to 45 days.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
pretty comfortable.
And again, that's if all the information is
Is
there.
there.
If there's something missing, then a letter has to go out, and so that'll slow down an application. But
So what's some of the plans for the future? We have like 1 more minute left.
Well, my plan is to have what we call a no wrong door.
Okay.
And so for that, in human service, it would mean no matter which way you came in and applied for a benefit, we would like to take that information among different programs. And if you're not eligible for, say, our state Medicaid program, they could automatically send that information to us if you're age, 65 or disabled, and that information can come to us, and then we can reach out to you and say,
So you'd be proactive.
You wasn't eligible for this program, but you may be eligible for this.
Wonderful.
So that's our future.
That's really great,
Yeah.
and I think that's just so helpful, especially
Yeah.
for people who don't know what's available.
Correct.
I mean, and that's the majority of
That's the
people,
majority of us.
unfortunately. So again, it's been a wonderful conversation, and really very informative, and I know that we'll be using this show in a variety of different ways to educate the people here in Monmouth and Ocean County. But we'll make this available to anyone who would like to look. So before we leave, one more time, how does someone get in touch with New Jersey Save?
www.aging.nj.gov.
Okay.
That's our division's homepage. You'll see the NJ Save logo right there, and you just click on it, and you're on your way. Or call us, and it's 1-800-792-9745.
Great. So I'd like to take this opportunity to thank our guests who have been incredibly informative, and if there's questions, please use that phone number to get your questions answered. And feel free to come to SCAN. We have a benefit specialist here who can work with you. Come for a tour here, see us at Monmouth Mall, and take a class and see if you like it. Thank you.